Hank Finds an Egg by Rebecca Dudley. One day, when on a walk through the woods, Hank found something. He bent down slowly to peer at it, only to discover that it was an egg. He gently picked it up and carefully walked with it until he saw a nest in a high-up tree. The nest was too high up for tiny Hank, but he was determined to return the egg. So he journeyed to the end of the woods to get an oak stump. The stump was heavy compared to little Hank, but with determination he managed to heave it over and roll it all the way back. Despite standing on the rough oak stump, he was still too small for the tall tree. But Hank was still determined, so he built a wooden ladder, stick by stick by stick. When the deep brown ladder was completed, he proudly admired his work before climbing up and up and up. But the tiny Hank was still too short for the tall tree. Climbing down the ladder, Hank admired the deep blue sky. The pearly moon was high in the sky, and Hank had a long venture ahead, back to his camp of loud crunchy leaves and smooth gray stones. He started a warm crackling fire under the clear sky. He softly picked up the egg to say goodnight. And he fell asleep under the moonlight, the woods whispers floating in the air. When he awoke, covered in loud crunchy leaves, he set off with his friend Egg in tow. Back to the nest, where he found a hummingbird. As it greeted him, he noticed it was the egg's mother. He slowly set the fragile egg down and started collecting tall, thin grass and soft, squishy moss to form a protective package. Tied with a lovely bow, he proudly presented it to the mother. She took it as Hank watched with pride. When she reached the nest, she placed it with her other eggs. Hank had finally accomplished his mission. The egg was back in its nest, and now he could rest. Suddenly, the eggs began to hatch, and hatch they did, into 3 small, adorable hummingbirds. The 3 birds flew happily in the summer air. As Hank was thanked by his friend, whom was formerly Egg, he felt elated, and they excitedly played under the warm summer sun.